Welcome to Escape to the Country. As you can see, I'm in the heart of a beautiful and rather sleepy rural village. But during the First World War, the residents here played a crucial role in helping Allied troops out on the Western Front. But what did they do and where are we? Well, join me in just a moment and I'll tell you. This week I'm helping two diverse sisters to relocate. They yearn to escape the humdrum of suburbia to live the countryside dream. Our search brings out sibling rivalry.
Mine.
You see, I knew we'd get to this. But in time it looks like I may have found something to keep everyone happy.
I'm feeling the love at the moment.
Walking into this one is like, oh yeah.
It did feel good.
Yeah.
Well, today we are in Devon. This is Dartmoor, and below me, the village of Widdicombe in the Moor. Now, Dartmoor is well known for its dramatic landscapes, herds of wild ponies, but also as a prolific source of sphagnum moss. During the First World War, the people of Widdicombe and the surrounding areas came up onto the moor and collected it in enormous quantities. Once dried out, its unique sponge-like qualities and its antiseptic properties made it an ideal substance to treat Allied wounds out on the Western Front. Now, these days, the moss is highly protected. I can't even pick any up to show it to you. But as you can imagine, it's a tradition that the people here are rightly proud of. The county of Devon lies in the southwest of England, next to Somerset and Dorset, and east of Cornwall. With a rich and varied landscape, Devon boasts 5 areas of outstanding natural beauty and 2 national parks, the largest of which, Dartmoor, spans a huge 368 square miles. It offers not only great hiking terrain in its vast expanse of moorland, but also pretty rural villages such as Lussley and North Bovey, which feature traditional thatched cottages. If water sport is more your thing, the north coast of Devon is a mecca for surfers, whilst the south offers calmer waters perfect for sailing. And it's where you'll find the attractive town of Sidmouth. Once a small fishing village, Sidmouth grew in size in the Georgian and Victorian periods as the fashion for coastal resorts developed, and it even played host to the baby Queen Victoria in 1819. Its fine Georgian and Regency houses still line the esplanade today. Now, with all that on offer, it probably comes as no great surprise to learn that prices here in Devon are somewhat on the steep side. To give you an idea, the cost of your average house here is some £30,000 above the national figure, coming in at around £296,000. But there is some good news. They are some 8% lower than they were at their peak back in 2008. So time now to meet today's buyers and find out what's attracted them to this glorious county. Sisters Jenny and Heather have made a big decision to leave their separate lives behind and buy a home together where they can share the responsibility of caring for their elderly mother. Currently living in Hornchurch, Essex and Farnborough in Hampshire respectively, it will be a big move for both sisters, and it's not just their current homes that are miles apart.
Well, Heather, she's really scary. She's very spiritual and she's also quite sensational.
Jenny is extremely organised, dependable, and can make anything pretty.
It'd be nice to spend more time together. We are completely different.
Yeah, she's day, I am night.
Yeah. But we love each other.
I suppose so.
But differences aside, it's their shared family values that have prompted the big move.
We're both not getting any younger.
Speak for yourself.
It's more about Mum, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, because Mum is, at a point where she's really starting to get quite helpless. And although she doesn't intend joining us immediately, we need to get the place ready so that we can get her in and look after her, really.
Big sister Jenny is currently retired, but her career as a florist is still very much a part of her life.
I was the Retail Florist of the Year for the Eastern Counties a few years back. I did it for 30 years, 15 of which I had my own business. It's in your blood when you can't suddenly switch off from it. I really look forward to having a really big garden that I can really let loose on and grow vegetables properly rather than in little silly pots. If at all possible, if it's good enough, I'd love to open it up to the public. I'm just so happy when I'm in the garden.
But it's Heather's work in hosting events that's been a major factor in choosing this coastal county.
We are thinking about Devon because I run dance weekends for a living, it's my main thing. And they are all down in Torquay. So if I was in Devon, it wouldn't be such a mammoth drive home.
And it was my brainwave originally to move. We could all realise our dream, you know, my dream of having a massive garden and living in a lovely country property. Heather's dream's not quite so tangible, but eventually,
maybe
when we get a lovely barn,
Yeah.
we can make into a venue to realise your dream.
Yeah.
So as well as a home, she's looking for space to build a business. But despite agreeing on the location, the sisters have somewhat different ideas when it comes to the lifestyle they're looking for.
The thing I'm most excited about is just being able to live in a really beautiful property, peaceful, serene. I like serenity.
You
for
were like
me.
when I bring all my mates round for a party.
Well,
in the
yeah,
garden.
obviously
Won't be quite so serene
we
then.
parties occasionally too.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Having lived apart since leaving home, moving back in together after such a long time could present challenges.
The prospect of living together is a little bit daunting, isn't it? In some ways, because we
Yeah.
are so different. As long as we have the ability to sort of separate ourselves, but it'd be great that, you know, she's just sort of nearby.
Nearby,
For
but
everything else.
nearby,
Yeah.
like almost like her two separate dwellings, but with them
Yeah.
joined somehow. That's Jenny's got her end of the world, I have my end of the world, and we can, you know, both be there for each other. It'd be great.
The sisters would like to be close to Torquay, where Heather runs her dance weekends. Provided they have good road access to the rest of the country, and for visiting their brother in Hertfordshire, they're open to all parts of Devon. I'm meeting up with them to find out exactly what they need from their property.
Well, Heather, Jenny, welcome to Devon for your escape to the country. I mean, Devon is somewhere that you know quite well.
Yes, I come here a lot. I come here when I run my dance weekends, and we go down to Torquay, and I take 300 people with me, and we party on hard until Monday and go home exhausted.
Your life, on the other hand, Jenny,
It's completely different.
is completely different.
Yeah.
I imagine your life being rather quieter.
It's sedate, yes.
So, as a couple,
We're not suited at all.
but you are sisters, so there is some suitability there.
We
We've
love
got the
each
same
other.
mum and dad.
There you go. Well, that brings us on nicely to talk about your mum. So we're looking for a separate sort of annex arrangement for
Yes.
mum.
Yes.
Between you, you've got 490
Yep.
or so. Let's talk about specifically what you're after, Heather.
I will be getting in late at night, so I'd like something away from other end of the house from Jenny. Separate bathroom or an ensuite bathroom would be awesome. After that, a nice garden, grounds if possible, to put something on later on.
Now, talk about this other something that you might want to build.
The other something I'd love to have round here, if the house had an old barn or some sort of structure to it that I could use as a venue later for a dance, possibly if it's big enough or wide enough or open enough, a wedding.
Tell us about what you want.
I sort of centre around the kitchen and the garden, so I'm up fairly early. So I potter around in the morning.
How many bedrooms do we need then?
Minimum 3, maximum at least 33.
For $500,000.
It's a big ask.
Because the other issue that concerns me, you don't drive, Jenny,
Yep.
so you need to be close to a community.
Yes.
I'm really excited about this one because I do like a challenge.
Good.
And I think with you two, we've certainly got that. But I also get the feeling it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got 3 options to show you. And, of course, it includes our mystery house,
Yay.
which is always a bit of fun.
We can't wait.
So, let's go and see what we've got you.
Awesome.
For just under £500,000, Jenny and Heather are looking for 3 or more bedrooms, a kitchen big enough to socialise in, a large garden to keep Jenny busy, and an outbuilding or space to create a venue for Heather's events business. They'd also like the property to be within walking distance to local shops and amenities. We've lined up 3 fantastic homes to show them, all with plenty of potential. I won't be revealing the price of each until they've guessed at it themselves. The final offering will be our mystery house that will challenge them by presenting something a little out of the ordinary. Now, as a family, you interest me because you've got such very wide interests.
Yes.
Do you all get on?
Most of the time.
Most of the time,
Most of the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
This is why we need separate places so that we can just go and retreat to go and think about the error of our ways.
To kick off our Devonshire house hunt, we're starting 3 miles from the medieval town of Totnes in the sought-after village of Little Hempston. The character cottages of Little Hempston are surrounded by the beautiful countryside this part of Devon is famous for. The village itself has a church and a local pub, but for more extensive facilities, locals venture to Totnes, one of the main towns of the South Hams area. Our first property is 3/4 of a mile from Little Hempston in the hamlet of Hemsford.
Well, girls, for our first property, we've got you this converted stable block. Can you see the windows?
Yeah,
But it all happens the other side of this wall.
The stables were built around 1890 and were converted into a single-storey property in the 1990s. From the parking area, a gate leads visitors along a path into the walled garden.
Now, look at this little sunny oasis behind that great big wall.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really hidden away.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not overlooked by anybody. Happy days.
Happy days
Yeah.
here.
Happy
Yeah.
days. Now, the other thing to point out is that it does have this feature here. Now, currently, this is a store and a garage and workshop and so forth.
Yeah.
But through that door in there is a separate annex.
Ooh.
Now, it's currently a kind of one-bed ensuite,
Okay.
so no kitchen.
It
No,
doesn't need a
doesn't
kitchen.
need a kitchen.
But what we're thinking is that you could actually spread it all out, convert this, and your mum would have potentially all of that bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, is this the sort of thing that whets the appetite?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got character, hasn't it?
Yep, like it so
Absolutely
far.
got character.
Depends what
Yeah.
ground it's got with it too.
Well, I'll let you into a little secret. Over the road, it also has 1.2 acres of paddock and orchard.
Oh! This is sounding perfect so far.
Let's see if it is. Come on.
I think this property really offers the family potential they're after. The paddock and orchard could give Heather the space she needs to host events, and the main house offers flexible accommodation for all 3 of the ladies. All on one level, the property covers over 210 square metres, with the living areas at one end and a separate annex at the other, ideal for mum. We're starting in the kitchen.
This, I'm thinking, really is going to be your domain.
Absolutely. Yes.
What do you think, Heather?
This is looking good.
Like it
This is
so
looking,
far? Yeah, it's
Looking
good.
nice. This is looking nice.
Yeah,
I
very
like-
cosy.
This is good. I like
Yeah,
this dining
this
room
is
here
nice.
straight away.
It's all together, isn't it?
But I think actually this area is really quite clever because it opens up into the kitchen with a breakfast
Yeah.
bar. And all the bedrooms go off that way.
Lovely.
So it's just going to flow through quite nicely.
Yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the living room is this way. I think you might like this. Come and have a look. This I love.
Ooh.
This is lovely.
Such a good ceiling.
Gosh.
Real wood.
We absolutely
It's
love
proper
wood.
wood,
Yeah.
not mucked about. I like that.
Yeah.
And I know you
Yeah.
wanted beams and cosy and all
Yeah.
the rest of it.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind it was an old stable block, so this might have been a kind of a tack room because it's got this old chimney breast, which they
Yeah.
obviously got the wood burner in. But above it, they've inserted this fabulous kind of mezzanine area, which they've got as a study, which you need.
That'd suit me down to the ground.
This is a room you could share, and I could see all 3 of you actually with Mum in here enjoying it. But if you want to split it up a bit, you've also got this fabulous garden room in here. Look at this.
Wow.
Yes.
So light, isn't it?
This bit was added about 4 years ago, which I think just absolutely makes the best of the garden.
Brings
Frames
the
the
garden.
Frames the garden really, really nice, and I love these lights in the ceiling.
When that's all open in the summer, you really are making the best of the garden.
In heaven.
Yeah, this is all good so far.
Really.
Yeah?
We like.
Good.
But next, it's bedrooms, and I'm a bit nervous that there might be an argument.
Could be.
Could be. Let's see who gets what.
Back through the lounge and kitchen to the other end of the house are the 3 bedrooms. One smaller room with bunk beds, followed by a family bathroom and the 2 largest bedrooms.
Then finally, the master.
Mine.
You see, I knew we'd get to this because the problem is normally we only need 1 master bedroom, but in your case we need 2.
We have 2 masters.
The thing I like about this one for you, Heather, is that it has a separate door out,
Yes.
and it is the only one with an ensuite in here. We have, of course, got the 1-bedroom annex next door. However, maybe you could have that bit out there. You could have here, or Mum could have this, and you've got one of the other bedrooms to play with down there. I don't know. It's going to take a bit of working out.
It's certainly feasible.
So in the meantime, I think we should pop back to the garden and think about the price. It's going to be interesting on this one, isn't it?
Isn't it?
This.
It looks like there are discussions to be had about the interior if it's going to work for this family. But outside, I'm confident the garden offers the oasis that Jenny is after.
So here we are then, back where we started, in our gorgeous walled garden. I mean, quite a lot to keep you busy.
Yes,
This is a garden in which you could really enjoy pottery.
absolutely.
OK, well, let's think about the price then on this one.
I'm sort of thinking of a cheeky offer of about 475.
I'm going to be rude and say 460, but I love it. But I think 460.
The bad news is that it is technically over budget.
Oh, right.
It's on for offers over £500,000,
OK.
but the vendors know your situation, and I suspect there is a conversation to be had.
OK.
A couple of things to explore. Obviously, the annex and the land. Off you go.
Yep,
And I
fabulous.
will catch up with you a little bit later on.
Hey.
For around £10,000 over their ideal budget, these converted stables offer our buyers flexible accommodation with the 3 bedrooms they asked for, plus an additional annex with ensuite. The acre of land over the road could be developed in future as a venue for Heather's events business. The only downside is that it's a mile from the village.
This is nice, isn't
This
it?
is nice.
Yeah, that's got to be the...
Bathroom. Ah. What I like about this property is it's got a fantastic feel to it, really cosy. I can see myself sitting and chilling in here. The room above, the office above, excellent.
I personally would like to be able to walk into a village to buy provisions and things like that. That's something I need to explore a little bit further. It's got a lovely feel about it. It feels homely and comfortable. Well loved, I think.
I might have known you'd be lounging around in the garden. Come on, we've got to go. Seen it all? Seen the annex in the paddock?
Seen it all?
Yep.
Good.
Taking it all in.
I think this is a very good start, actually.
It is, yeah. Great start.
But we have 2 more to go. But first things first, let's have some lunch.
Oh,
After you.
Every year in Britain, around 3,800 people open their gardens to the public through the National Garden Scheme to raise money for charity. In Devon, 150 residential gardens took part this year. When both sisters make their move to the county, Jenny hopes to create another immaculate garden, which she also plans to open to the public, something that could keep sociable Heather busy. We've arranged for them to meet horticultural enthusiast Miranda Al-Hewson, the National Garden Scheme's county organiser for Devon, at her home in Morton Hampstead.
I hear you're interested in moving to Devon and having a lovely garden and perhaps opening it for the National Garden Scheme.
Yeah, I am. I've visited quite a few NGS gardens myself, but I don't know what the criteria is, you know, or how good your garden has to be in order to be accepted into the scheme.
Well, it's got to be an interesting garden. It doesn't matter how big it is. The little gems are very special. I mean, people love visiting small gardens to get inspiration of what to do in their own garden.
Yeah.
Or you could just rely on having a lovely view, like here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fun of it, really, if you enjoy gardening, to then share it.
Sharing it is the enjoyment, isn't it? You
It
know,
is. And garden visitors are always lovely people. And
Yeah.
they're always very friendly
Yeah.
and appreciative that you
Yeah.
open your garden.
So how often do you open the garden?
We open for 2 weekends in the year. We open in May and then we open in September.
Can I have a look around?
Absolutely. Should we go off this way?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, can't wait.
The NGS started in 1927 when council member Elsie Wagg organised a one-off event to raise money for district nurses before the days of the NHS. People were encouraged to open up their gardens for a shilling a head, and 609 gardens took part, raising over £8,000 in the first year. Today, it's still a voluntary organisation which has donated over £40 million to charity, raising £2.5 million last year alone. Miranda started opening her impressive 4-acre garden on the edge of Dartmoor to the public 15 years ago. Like all gardens, it takes a lot of work to maintain, but today she's got 2 helpers.
So, is the climate particularly good in Devon for gardening?
Yes, it is. And you've got lots of different microclimates.
Yeah.
So you can really choose the type of gardening you want to do,
Yeah.
and choose a house to fit it. So what sort of garden would you like to have?
I like the cottage gardens, the stereotypical cottage garden. Not too much formality, preferably for me.
Well, that suits
But I
Devon.
like quirky sort of features.
Orchard, veggies.
Yeah.
Veggies very important.
Yeah, and the thing is, everyone's so interested in vegetables now.
But we're quite an acid soil.
Yeah,
here.
is it all acid or are there pockets
No,
of
no,
more
there are
alkaline?
pockets of it, so
Yeah.
you might not land up with acid, but it's all good
Yeah.
growing soil, so you'll
Yeah.
be able to grow
Yeah.
a good variety of plants.
So what sort of challenges are we going to expect, do you think?
Well, I think if you want to open your garden, the main thing is to have it looking at its best when it's open. You've really got to plan the garden so you've got lots of colour and interest at the time of year that you're going to open.
Like Jenny, Miranda spends most of her day working away in the garden. And what better way to end an afternoon of gardening in the West Country than with a Devonshire cream tea?
So I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Devon
yes.
and you really feel it's the right thing to do to move
Yes,
here.
yeah.
Because you will be able to grow a gorgeous garden and
Yeah.
I hope you'll open for the NGS.
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
It looks like our sisters are settling in well to the county's lifestyle. So the pressure's on for me to find them a house. For our next property, we're venturing north of Dartmoor to the mid-Devon village of Chorley. The village itself offers a pub and a number of shops, but for more extensive facilities, Chumley is 1.5 miles away. Now a conservation area, Chumley is known for its attractive historic architecture with over 200 listed buildings. Property number 2 is a 4-bedroom Grade 2 listed thatched cottage situated on the outskirts of Chorley.
There is property number 2. In the rain, but hopefully it won't put you off too much.
Oh,
What do you reckon?
I love it in the rain, so it's going to look gorgeous in the sun.
really pretty.
Yeah.
And location-wise, I think this is a step forward from number 1. Although that was only 1 mile away from its amenities, this is a 10-minute walk into Chorley.
Oh, perfect.
So, great location, loads of charm, loads of character. Traditional thing in the countryside, nobody ever uses their front doors. We're going to go around the back, that way. Come on then.
Good.
This cottage is of traditional Devon stone and cob construction under a thatched roof and is believed to date back to the 17th century. I can't wait to show them the inside, which is equally full of character.
Well, we'll start with the kitchen.
Excellent.
Nice.
This is doing it for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In terms of space, does it work for you?
It's a very good shape, actually, a workable, practical shape. Room for a table, which is absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Now, you've also got a really generous utility room
Yeah,
next door
that's
with a loo in
fantastic,
it.
yeah.
First impressions then?
I'm feeling the love at the moment, big time.
Walking into this one is like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
It did feel
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Let's see if that feeling continues. Follow me through here.
It seems our sisters are really falling for this property's period charm, and there's more to come as we go into the living room.
And then in here is the main living room. Another lovely fireplace.
Oh, another wood burner.
Wow.
Yeah?
Wow.
Look at this. Yeah.
It's
Love
hugging
it.
me.
It's hugging you.
Yeah.
House is hugging me.
This is all good.
Yeah.
And of course, with the dining room next door, you've got this lovely
Yeah.
sort of flow from the kitchen
Yeah.
to your main reception rooms, really.
That's great.
Double aspect as well. Is it listed?
It is listed.
Is it?
But
Grade 2.
Grade 2, which
Yeah.
is the bog standard,
yeah.
and where it comes into its own is in terms of preserving things like the beams,
Timbers, yeah.
you know, the fireplaces, the external look. It just means you've got a house with character.
Yeah.
I'm rather pleased with this tour so far.
Wow, so am I.
A positive reaction so far. I'm just hoping things don't go downhill as we move upstairs. On the first floor, there is 1 single and 3 double bedrooms, all currently sharing 1 bathroom.
Now, there is one thing that slightly concerns me. You asked for 3 bedrooms. We've got you 4 bedrooms.
Fantastic.
And nothing, of course, is en suite,
No.
which maybe you could give up a bedroom if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But it also has an enormous workshop, which really is crying out to be converted.
Awesome.
That sounds
It's almost done.
fantastic.
It's self-contained. Mum could have it. I say annex, it's like a small cottage.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Maybe you'll fight over it yourselves.
Whoa.
Come and have a look.
Huge chance of that.
Now, I think this workshop is the real selling point of this property. Built 6 years ago, it offers huge scope for development.
Now, how big is all this? Look at it.
Wow.
Cool.
Gosh, yeah, that's massive.
That's a blank canvas for you.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the perfect way to describe it. Absolutely is a blank canvas. But walls are all plastered, it's all insulated, it's wired. All it needs is a floor.
Huge scope, hasn't it?
And then through here, you've got this little lobby area, which could be a bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in here, this is more the workshop at the moment. But we were thinking kitchen, diner, living room.
Yeah.
With that door replaced with an enormous
Lovely window.
picture window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Isn't it?
Good
It
stuff.
is.
I mean, this is a really generous annex.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. Got lots of
Fantastic.
power, everything. Nice windows
Yeah.
still.
So what's it worth? Come on, let's have a think.
Outside, the property is surrounded by approximately an acre of flat land, mainly lawn, with panoramic views of the countryside. I've got a feeling if the price is right, this one could be a real possibility.
Now then, as it's raining, we'll make this fairly quick.
Yep.
There's the garden. I think you can have a lot of fun planning that.
Certainly could.
You'll love it.
Yeah, certainly could.
There is one more bit you haven't seen, and that's the older barn that's attached to this building at the front. Maybe you've got a few plans for that. Before we all get wet, let's think about the price.
This is really scary.
After you, Heather.
Oh, I think, without seeing the barn, I think it's top of the budget and some 500.
500, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm really scared that it's going to be about 520.
It is on the market for £499,950.
£50 out.
But here's the thing. We know Mum is moving, obviously. We're thinking that money will go towards the annex.
OK.
Yeah?
I need to see that
really
barn.
You can go see it. Go on, off you go.
Thank you.
Brilliant. I love their enthusiasm. This is a big move for this entire family, but they are taking it in their stride. In fact, at a gallop. How about that?
If Jenny and Heather can stretch their budget, this cottage offers them the real country character they're after, with an extra bedroom, a large workshop with scope to create a fantastic annex for their mother, as well as an additional old barn. And it's within walking distance of those all-important shops and amenities.
Oh, now this has got... This is not a dance room.
Not big enough for dancing?
No, it's because it's too low.
Charming, though,
It's lovely.
isn't it? I love everything about this property. As soon as we walked in, it sort of felt like home.
Done very well finding this place. The bedrooms are cool. It's a shame there isn't an ensuite, but hey-ho. The bathroom's right next door to where the room I would probably use. What's not to like?
I think I'd have to mark this property probably a 9.5 out of 10. I'm only holding back half a mark because I just think I must have missed something. It's just too good to be true.
Now then, I think not a bad day of house hunting.
Absolutely brilliant.
Bad at all.
Are you going to buy one yet?
Well, maybe.
That's for us to know and you'd find out, Jules.
Ah, we'll find out tomorrow, but not before we've seen our mystery house in the morning. But in the meantime, the weather has taken over.
Pub.
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 Come on, let's go.
Today's house hunters, sisters Heather and Jenny, are armed with a decent £490,000 budget. They're looking for an escape from their suburban lives in Farnborough, Hampshire and Hornchurch in Essex to a country property in Devon. Coming up, our mystery house offers up some rather alternative accommodation.
This building over here, which used to be the old piggery.
That's mine. She's in the pig. I like pigs.
And I try my hand at one of the county's oldest trades.
Go for it.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. That's really satisfying. Yeah, I could do that all day long. Well, no house search is ever easy, but this one is particularly perplexing because of the widely contrasting demands of our buyers. Now, in an ideal world, they'd buy all three of the properties that we're able to show them. But of course, that can't happen. They can choose only one. So for our final offering, we have looked long and hard for our mystery house, or should I say, mystery houses.
Situated 8 miles north of Oakhampton, on the northern edge of Dartmoor, our final property is in a rural setting on the outskirts of North Taunton. In the heart of the scenic West Devon countryside, North Taunton is exceptionally small for a town, but has retained this title due to its having a town hall, which plays host to a number of local events. There's also a post office, community centre and a number of shops and pubs. A 12-minute stroll over a bridge from the town centre is our mystery property.
So, here we are at our mystery house, or should I say mystery houses. We've got you two. Right there.
This is nice.
It used to be, obviously, a much bigger, sprawling farm complex, and over the years it's been divided up. So what you have on offer here is that building there, which was the old Shire horse stables, and this building over here, which used to be the old piggery.
That's mine.
I like pigs.
This one has residential planning on it, obviously, because it's a house.
Yeah.
This one is currently more of a dedicated holiday let, but they have applied for full residential planning. They both have 3 bedrooms. This one has the living room on the upstairs,
Right,
so it's
okay.
been upside down. And this one is much more conventional with it on the ground floor. And the garden that comes with this property is attached really to that one.
That's going to be mine then.
That'll be yours then.
So I thought maybe then we should start upside down with that one. Yeah?
Wonderful.
Come on.
Yeah.
These sisters lead separate lives, so could 2 separate buildings be the answer? I've got a good feeling about this one.
So here we are, upside down living.
Gosh. Oh, nice bed.
Come on up.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It's quite a clever use of the building, actually.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It's much lighter up here. There's a kitchen just behind that wall, sort of open galley kitchen. Have a look. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's lovely.
Yeah, I could cope with this very easily. Yeah,
I could see you in here particularly.
yeah, definitely.
You can see this really suiting you. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at these bedrooms then,
Yeah.
because this might work for your mum, because we've got 2 en suites for you. So, here's where the rest of this particular property begins to come together, because leading off of this central hallway, we've got you 3 bedrooms. Now, 2 of them are currently furnished as 2 doubles, one there and one there. They are both en suite.
Awesome.
That one has a wet room shower, maybe good for mum as well. And then this little sort of study area, which, you know, is on the spec as a bedroom, but to be honest, I think you'd probably keep it as a bit of a study.
Yeah.
So that's our first bit.
Yep.
With our upside-down living room.
Okay.
Let's go over the courtyard and see what the rest of it has to offer you.
The first barn has certainly sparked Heather's interest, and I'm hoping Jenny's reaction will be just as positive when she sees the second.
So, Jenny, this could be you. Well, Jenny, here's your bit.
Oh. It's a good square shape. A little bit on the dark side, though.
Yes, it could do with a bit of relighting and more
yes.
lighting.
Yes.
I mean, it's a great space. I mean, that's the key thing, I suppose, to take away from it. Now, your living room is much more conventional.
Yep.
It's on the ground floor,
Okay.
although just up these 2 steps. So come and look at this. So would you be able to relax in here, Jenny?
Oh,
That's different, isn't it?
it's good. It's neutral and, again, a good shape.
You've got 3 bedrooms above
Okay.
and a separate bathroom, so nothing en suite for you.
This doesn't matter.
But the lovely thing is it leads out into the garden that comes with the property, so we're letting your green fingers close to the action.
Great.
That's what we're thinking.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Having seen this one, are you happy?
Yeah, I am, as long as I can get to her garden.
Come on, let's have a look at the
You are
garden.
allowed through the house.
Heading outside, the gardens are relatively modest compared to the other properties, but they do offer privacy and great views of the countryside.
So, Jenny, this is your garden.
Wow. Yes.
Probably not the biggest we've shown you,
No.
but would it be big enough to keep you busy?
Yeah, I can get a vegetable patch in here. Yep.
I mean, I don't want you to put a brave face on it. I know it's not
No.
as huge as you'd perhaps
No,
would have liked,
no.
and I'm not sure necessarily that you would open to the public on a regular basis, necessarily.
Probably not.
You know, it's all about accommodation.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about the price, and that might help us reflect on what we have got. So, you can go first, Jenny.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to go for 520.
520, Heather?
I think it's going to be more than that. I think 560.
This is on the market for 50 quid short of £490,000.
Wow.
No way! No way! Okay.
489,950. Now, there's no dance studio.
Yeah.
There aren't acres of gardening to be had, but it does give you very separate living.
Gosh.
Lots to
That's
take in,
exciting.
but off you
Yeah.
go. Go and explore upstairs in your bit, Jenny. Why not?
Okay.
For just £50 under budget, our mystery properties offer the sisters a practical setup for their contrasting lives. The two separate barns each offer 3 bedrooms, one with the convenience of a downstairs bedroom and bathroom for mum, and although the gardens aren't huge, there are a number of separate areas. And it's all within a 10-minute walk of a town.
The mystery house is a lot more practical than the other two in terms of accommodating Heather and I. It didn't grab me as much as house number 2.
I think the mystery house will work very well for me. I hope the mystery house will work very well for Jenny. It is a shame there isn't a dance thing attached to it, but we can't have everything.
Well, that's it, ladies. Our mystery house is over. 2 for the price of 1.
Yep. Good stuff.
Happy?
Well done.
Yeah.
I think any one of the properties we've shown you would fit the bill if I gave you the keys. I'm sure you'd make them work. But you do need to think about it all and, of course, really consider what your mum might want.
Yeah.
So, shall we go and think?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Come on then.
Devon's charm extends beyond the beautiful scenery on offer. Its rich industrial heritage spans many centuries. Historically, one of the most important industries in the county was the production of leather, known as tanning. Nowadays, John Hagger is one of a few leather workers still employing the traditional crafting techniques using the leather that the area is famous for. I've come to his workshop at the Dartington estate not far from our first property to learn about the history and skills needed for this special craft.
John, very nice to see you,
to meet
sir.
you.
Now, I think I smelt this workshop before I even walked through the door. But it's a lovely, lovely smell, and there's something I've always found with leather. It's one of those sort of almost primeval substances, isn't it? It's timeless.
The leather's very special because it comes from Devon.
Well, that's the thing. Now, let's talk about Devon and its history of leatherwork, because, you know, you're upholding a long tradition here, aren't you?
I was taught to do things in a very traditional way. But my interest really is how to make something look stylish, fashionable. I suppose you could describe my work as being tradition meets technology.
Now, you make all kinds of things, I know, and I know that belts are also something you make. This is my old belt. This...
Oh, nice.
Well, you might say that, but look, I've had this for about 16 years. I could do with a new one. So how hard is it going to be to create something that I can walk out of here wearing?
Well, I could show you how to make one.
Let's have a go.
John originally trained as a saddler and bridle maker in order to learn the traditional methods. He's now been turning leather into goods in his workshop for 20 years.
How many belts do you think you make a year?
We probably make 20 or 30 a week.
That's a fabulous tool. What do you call that?
This is a plough gauge. It's a very old tool. It's handmade. How many belts have you got?
Well, really, just this one.
You've only got one belt?
It's hard to believe, but yes, this is it. This is my belt. To me, it's an old friend. I like the fact this belt has been everywhere with me. It is such a trusted companion.
In the mid-19th century, Devon was a British tanning centre with over 100 tan yards operating. Back then, leatherworking was popular as skilled tradesmen were needed to fashion leather into bridal and military components. But with the rise in cheap labour available overseas and the birth of replacement materials like plastic, the trade has declined over recent decades. So, with my belt cut to size and the holes marked out, it's time for the fun bit.
So is this one big whack?
Yeah.
OK. Good old
Go
solid.
for it, go for it. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that! Look at that! There!
Well done.
Look at that, it's underway. My belt is coming to life. Brilliant.
How satisfying is that?
That's really satisfying. Yeah, I could do that all day long.
Making everything by hand without the use of modern-day machinery enables John to work with the finest of materials and tools, creating items of real individual beauty.
So now you've got to cut your point now. You can do it in 2 ways. Now, I do it by hand, but you can also use a chisel.
Righto, John.
And I must say, having a go myself, I can see where he gets his passion from. To preserve the suppleness of the belt, I'm buffing it with natural oils and fats. Then it's ready to add the buckle, keepers and finish with hand stitching. Something I think I'll leave to the expert.
Fabulous, John. I absolutely love that. Moment of truth. Let's see if it fits.
Right, so old belt in the bin.
You must be joking. My old belt is going to come home with me. It is an old friend. I have to look after it. But my new belt...
It fits.
...is... Oh, just the ticket. That's beautiful, John. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Well, we have kept our end of the bargain. 3 houses they wanted, 3 we have given them. Our house searching is over, but is theirs? Let's go and ask them. Well, Jenny and Heather, how are we doing?
Good, good.
Not bad.
We're confused.
Yeah.
You're confused? Why so?
Well, you have given us 3 homes, all would work in different ways. So there's an awful lot of jigging and then double thinking with Mum to be had.
So we thought we would visit probably house number 2 and 3 with Mum, further investigate the local areas.
Property number 1,
Yeah.
which you seem to have discounted.
And I don't know why, I think we were so bowled over by number 2 that number 1 seems to just slip from our memories.
So property 2 then, with its separate annex, that's certainly on your list.
I really loved property 2, big open space for a garden, but it didn't have anything for Heather.
I can see how we managed to satisfy your hopes, Jenny, but as for you, Heather, I can share your frustration that we weren't able to find you the space, really. So where does that leave your move to Devon?
For me, property 3 would work better, but my heart and soul would say that Jenny would be making a huge compromise because she prefers 2. What are we going to do?
Be fascinating to know what your mother thinks.
Well, she might just be the deciding thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, guys. So best of luck. And hopefully you'll move down here very shortly.
I hope
OK,
so.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, 3 very different properties into which we had to fit 3 very different people, Jenny, Heather, and of course their mother. It was always going to be a challenge, but I suspect their house search still has some way to go. But if money had been no object, well, maybe we could have sold them this place, Bovey Castle. This was once the home of none other than W.H. Smith of newsagent fame. Plenty of room for all the family and bags of space in which to party. Smith, who later became Viscount Hambledon, certainly knew what he wanted for his escape to the country. I'll see you next time.
If you would like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, or perhaps further afield to the continent and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.